Look, I know how it looks to you guys. You know, it appears Aston Martin is ahead of us and they're just getting further away. But I can tell you that's not right. I have full faith in everybody at Ferrari, back at the factory in Maranello, and I know that there are upgrades coming that are going to close that gap down for us. We are very confident in that. Sorry, I thought I turned this. Hello? What do you mean the wind tunnel's fucked? Well, the data on the upgrades is wrong. This is unbelievable. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. Today we have the Spanish Grand Prix and we have a little bit of a concern coming into it because our wind tunnel data is wrong, basically. So yeah, we've obviously shut down everything to make sure we can try and fix it. And it's not like we just had the big underfloor get finished designing that I'm really counting on making sure is going to be good for the car. So yeah, that could be a massive setback for the season, to be honest, but we'll wait and see exactly what we get here. You can see there, we got the data concern the day that, the day that we got the underfloor finish being designed. So, not great, obviously. While we're here, we'll have a look at the driver updates. The drivers are developing, so there we go there. We can see this is Giovinazzi and this is Mick. So yeah, they're coming along quite nicely, I would say. So that's good to see. And then Gabriel Mini, who will need to send back down to, we'll need to release him at the end of the year and send him back into junior formulas, which is a shame. But anyway, yeah, he's coming along okay. But we can't give him any free practice time because he's not able to race in Formula 1. So that's all very, very disappointing. So as a quick reminder where we stand, third in the constructors, it's a massive gap now to Aston Martin and Red Bull. We're doing okay against Mercedes. It's daylight back to fifth. But yeah, not ideal, and Giovinazzi has dropped down to fifth after a bit of a disastrous Monaco for him, and Mick, he is still there in eighth, just behind the two Mercedes drivers. So yeah, it's looking as though we're kind of almost stuck where we are, but it's so early. It's a million rounds, isn't there? This is only round 8, so there's still plenty of time for us to come back. And the board confidence, it's not taken too much of a hit. We've got high confidence. And if you look at actual race performances, other than the first race of the year, which I don't fully remember, I thought we did okay. Was it a 5th and a 6th or maybe in that one? So everyone happy with that. But otherwise, they've either been delighted or satisfied with how we've done. So that's good. There's a few podiums I think we've got in those ones as well. So yeah, you know, we're doing okay according to the board. Whether that's going to remain the case if we keep dropping further and further back of second, that could be debatable, couldn't it? So let's have a quick look at the circuit here. The circuit map we can see there. It is red sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3 for qualifying. Sections by speed. Has a little bit of everything. I'm not quite sure that's still a traction zone. Now they got rid of the... That might be an error. You've actually got to come to a stop there every lap, go, then stop and go again. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure why that says it's red. The car attributes, top speed and medium speed cornering. Time considerations we can see there. Safety car doesn't make a huge difference, but obviously 5 seconds is still 5 seconds. Expected strategies, it's a 2-stop. This track eats tyres. Compound performance, we can see there is... The soft tyre is quite good, in half a second lap faster than the medium. What's that, 7 or so tenths faster than the hard, but it does degrade at twice the speed of the hard, whereas the medium and the hard do a similar sort of degradation, slightly worse obviously for the medium, but the time is still 3 tenths faster. So the medium looks like the best race tyre. You probably want to do a medium, a hard, and then maybe a soft perhaps towards the end. That might be something that we'll look to do. Historic results here. It is, has been a Mercedes track with Verstappen last year doing okay there. And yeah, let's have a look at what we're personally expecting to do here. So qualifying performances. We want 2 cars in the top 4. Good luck with that. We'll see how we go. I don't think we'll be getting that one. Finishing position of 2 cars in the top 4. They've really upped the ante here, haven't they? Fastest lap. If we're going to do a soft tyre at the end, let's see we can do that. Qualifying streak, we need 2 cars in the top 6 twice. Let's hope we can do that. We didn't do it at Monaco, obviously. And finishing position, 1 car in the top 6 today, and we'll get ourselves a little bit of bonus money there as well. So that is everything. Let's go off to Spain. Now, of course, this would have been Carlos Sainz's home race. It is Fernando Alonso's home race, and we need him to have a bad one, don't we, so we can catch up. We're expecting a dry weekend. I'll do some free practice, and I'll see you momentarily for qualifying. Okay, now free practice is done. The results a little bit up all over the place. Now, one thing that I will point out is that our the engine and gearbox and is it ERS that we use? Yeah, they're starting to wear down a little bit because we use the same ones for all the free practice sessions. So that is maybe slowing us down a little bit. But you could see there we were sort of 8th and 9th in FP1. FP2 it was 7th and 10th with Giovinazzi, and then FP3 it was 8th, and I think Giovinazzi was 11th. Yeah, so not ideal. Like I say, everything is wearing down, so we'll put the newer stuff in for qualifying, which should see us move up a little bit. But a second off the pace is not really where we want to be, especially now we've got Alpines and Haas's that are starting to get ahead of us as well. So, yeah, that is all not good news. What is good news, though, is we've got setups pretty well done. I'll show you the things here. You can see the engine is fairly well shot. The ERS is getting down there as well. We're going to have to take penalties at some point. I think we'll write this gearbox off. We'll use this one for the race, and then I think we'll just leave it in for free practice and go to the next one. Race 9 should be okay to start and get sort of go through into the next thing of gearboxes, and then same thing with Mick, as you can see here. So this is going to make a difference. How much of a difference, I guess we're going to find out. But as parts wear, they do get slower. So yeah, let's see. Q1 though, it still shouldn't be a problem with Ferrari. It should be fine. Alright, so in the end, it was fine. Mick up there in 4th, which is good. Giovinazzi, I'm not really sure why he was so far. He's about half a second off of the pace. We did do a second run with him on the same set of tyres, and he didn't improve. So I'm a little bit concerned about Antonio here, I've got to say. Okay, now we are on board with Giovinazzi. He is currently 13th. So I'm very concerned about him here. Now, while we're doing this lap, I should say, before every race on the Discord and on Facebook as well, I asked for predictions for the upcoming race. I put the free practice times and asked for predictions. Last race in Monaco, Gary Turpin absolutely nailed it. Got the top 3 right. So well done, mate. And that was the biggest surprise that we got someone tipping the first 3 correctly in order, or I've remembered to do the shout out saying well done. But yeah, excellent. If you do want to join the Discord or the Facebook group, there's links in the description, and it's always a lot of fun. Now, Giovinazzi is done green and green. Is he going to get himself inside the top 10? Oh yes, he's gone 5th. Mick hasn't done his greatest lap, but it should be enough to get us through. So well done, Gio. You pulled one out there. So 5th and 6th. So whatever was the problem with Giovinazzi, he's fixed it, and yeah, back normal service resumed. It is Red Bull, Aston Martin, Ferrari. Yeah, well, we need to make sure we're no further back than 5th and 6th, don't we? All right, we are coming around to start our final run in Q3. We are currently 7th and 8th. First run as ever was on the used set of tyres. They've done one lap from the previous session. So we should have some improvement here. We need to get ahead of Magnussen, don't we? We need to be 5th and 6th. It may well be that Aston Martin and Red Bull are not in our race right now. Why is Mick going slower? That's not good. Giovinazzi is going quicker, though. We dropped down to 8th and 9th now, as someone's moved ahead of us there. Is it Norris, perhaps? Giovinazzi's doing a decent lap. He's done 2 faster sectors. Mick, though, he's done okay. He's done a better second sector. I wonder if he got a bit held up or something in that first sector. So let's see what Giovinazzi can do. Can he go 5th? 6th. Mick is 10th. Oh, that's not good. So there we go, 7th and 10th we will start the race from. We were slower. We were much slower in that last session than we were in Q2. A 13.6 would have put us in 5th, and 13.7 would have put us in 5th. So for whatever reason, I wonder if there was traffic on that last run we didn't see. Alright, strategy is going to have to try and rescue us here. What did I say? Soft, medium, hard, I think is probably the way to go. But I think the way I'd like to do it is start on the medium, go to the hard, and then have the soft at the end. And do it that way when everybody else is on older tyres. So let's go with that. Do we want to flip that with Mick? If we're going to flip it anyway, I almost wonder if you start on the harder tyre. Do medium second with Mick. The risk, of course, is... because we saw that the hard tyre is not a bad race tyre. No, I think you're better off. I think you want the you don't want to be on the hard tyre at the start, I don't think, because it's going to be slower off the line. You're more chance of losing positions as much as anything. And this looks fairly well-rounded, I think, that is a strategy. The problem, of course, is if we have safety cars, it might cause some problems. But we have 2 sets of new softs, so we could always do a soft and go from there. So there we go. That's what the strategy's going to be. Let's hope we can move forward, because we have to. And we do tend, don't we? Welcome back. We do tend to be better in the race than in qualifying. So yeah, let's see what we can do here. Away we go. Let's jump on board with Giovinazzi. There's some hard tyres there. There's some soft tyres. We are as ever. Oh, that's a big crash. Virtual safety car. And let's move Giovinazzi up to 9th. Now Mick is okay.
Everybody okay?
What happened there? It was the Alpine, wasn't it? It must have been Gasly. Has he taken out an Aston Martin? That would be huge. Or was it the McLaren that's gone into the back of Gasly? Oh, he has taken out an Aston Martin. Thank you. So Gasly is gone, and is that 18? That'll be Lance Stroll, won't it? Now, so Stroll is out. Would have been better if it was Alonso. But we'll take that one Aston Martin down. We'll go with that. And
big chance for him.
Yeah, well, we're sitting pretty good in 4th and 9th now with Mick as well. Alright, virtual safety car is about to finish. There we go. We are back to green. So we are deploying again. We've got extra petrol now, so we'll burn that off as quickly as possible. That's obviously extra weight that we don't need to be carrying now that we've been cruising around for a few laps. Now, DRS should be instantly available as well, because a virtual safety car usually doesn't reset that. So, yeah, we do have Mick had DRS there. So that's going to make it an interesting race. K-Mag behind us looks as though he's a bit of a cork in the bottle here, and we need to try and stay within DRS range if we can of these front 3 with Giovinazzi. Let's see if Mick can get a move done here up the inside of Hulkenberg. That should be job done. It looks like it is. So Mick's moving forward. That's excellent news. And yeah, let's see if we can get Hamilton, Norris and Magnussen now. Get us to 4th and 5th. So we can at least outscore Aston Martin this day. That's a minimum we need to do, isn't it? With them down a car. Alright, and well, we've just been passed by Kevin Magnussen. So that Haas obviously has a little bit about it. That's a good move on the outside there. So yeah, that's disappointing. Down to 5th for Gio. Alright, so the race is going by. Hamilton has just passed Giovinazzi. Not quite sure what's going on there. Norris locked up, so he dropped down, so that's why Mick has moved up some positions. You can kind of see us there. Hamilton has not just got past, but is driving away. Mick has just got past Magnussen with DRS. And Giovinazzi seems to have a real problem. His lap times have just fallen off a cliff recently, and in fact, Mick Schumacher is now past him. And what is wrong with Giovinazzi? Look at some of these last lap times. He's more than a second a lap slower. So let's hope he can just sort of hang on to Mick, and Mick can sort of take us back up to the back of Hamilton here. But it's concerning. I don't understand why. Oh, and lock up from Hamilton there will maybe give us half a sniff. But yeah, concerning as to exactly why Giovinazzi has gone off. And I wonder if Alonso had some damage there as he comes in the pits. Let's have a look at what tyres everybody else is on here. So there's hard tyres, there's some soft tyres out there. So a little bit of everything. And we've got a yellow flag now. Big crash. Is this a safety car? And if it is, it wouldn't be a bad... Oh, Alonso's got a penalty. So Alonso being involved in a crash. So this could be a disastrous race for Aston Martin. Which means we have to cash in, don't we? Oh, he has. He's gone straight up the back of him. This needs to be a big race for us now. We need 3rd and 4th. And just like that, Mick delivers 3rd as he, at the end of the DRS zone there, gets up the inside of Hamilton. Now his soft tyres are going to be quite mushy at this point, so took advantage of that nicely. Alright, now we have just seen Hamilton has come in the pits a lap or 2 ago off his soft tyres. Verstappen has just come in as well, so we're currently running 2nd and 3rd. Mick is coming into the pits this lap. And then Giovinazzi will be coming into the pits the lap after that to put on the hard tyre. We will probably lose out to Hamilton, but what I didn't want to do is go too early because we obviously are going to use the soft tyre at the end. And I didn't want us to be running out of tyre at the end of the race. So, yeah, we didn't really have the ability to come in any earlier than this. So, there's no argument to say, you know, run longer and then have a fresher tyre. As a decent pit stop there for Mick. And we might even, I wonder if we cancel Gio's stop and use that logic. That now, where does Hamilton come out here in relation to us? Oh, have we stayed? We've jumped him. We've overcut him. So that's interesting. And it's by 2 seconds. So there is actually a chance here that... oh, hang on a second. Let's have a look at previous lap times. Hamilton did a 1:19. Gio did... no, so Gio is going slower. So we need to come in to try and jump Hamilton here if we can. So let's see what Giovinazzi's stop is like. We're due a bad one, aren't we? Which is always a little bit heartbreaking. Come on, boys. Good stop. Good stop. There it is. There's the 1.5 seconds lost, or second lost. And, yeah, that is not going to help us. And, in fact, there indeed goes Hamilton, who is right up behind Mick Schumacher now. So, not having much luck in the pit stops this season, old Gio, is he? But anyway, still a long way to go in this one. Now, does Hamilton have... what tyre does he have on here? He's got the hard tyre as well. So, we do have a little bit of a tyre advantage over him. And Hulkenberg and Ricciardo will still have to stop, as there is Hamilton. That's not the end of the world if he wants to do that, because what we will do is go into harvest mode and just hopefully let him DRS us along a little bit and charge up that battery of ours. Well, this just all went wrong very quickly. Mick has run wide through the last corner, and that is the back of Hamilton gone. And to add salt into the Ferrari wound, we have also seen Giovinazzi drop a place to Kevin Magnussen. So, yeah, when it rains, it pours somewhat. So this is all, yeah, all very disappointing right now. But 5th and 7th, Ricciardo's got to stop yet. So that'll become 4th and 6th, and we've just got to be better, don't we? This is Mick just in front of us now. Come on, boys, come on.
Now here we are,
and K-Mag has indeed gotten past Mick as well. DRS down the end of the straight. Now he is on a medium tyre. He was on the hard to start. So, yeah, that might be quite quick, the Haas in this race.
And the Haas completes the move.
Alright, so we are halfway through this race. It is 5th and 6th for us. Mick is now looking a little bit slower than Giovinazzi. So we might even need to let him move past, because we don't need them fighting each other here. But yeah, it's harvest. Just harvest your battery, Mick. It's not really going to plan. The Haas looks incredibly quick. And it's actually, you can see there, Magnussen has caught the back of Hamilton. The Red Bulls are gone again. So yeah, I don't quite understand where this Magnussen pace is. I mean, we know he's a freak from from Haas last year, don't we? So we've got Schumacher's battery fully charged, sitting there behind Giovinazzi. Wouldn't actually maybe be the worst thing if we if we switch this roll around now, charge Giovinazzi's batteries up. We'll wait and we'll just see. We'll see what sort of pace Mick can do when he's not harvesting his battery. He doesn't have DRS there, does he? Yellow flag, a safety car. Multiple cars have crashed. We know it's neither of our boys. Are we going to get a safety car? Was that Magnussen off the side of the track? Now, if he's damaged Hamilton, this could be a dream race. Go on, take each other out. Kevin Magnussen, still a channel legend, turns in on Hamilton, and yeah, well, that's kind of K-Mag's fault, isn't it? The real question is, has that done any damage to Hamilton's front wing, and will he need to come and stop? Of course, if it has, then it's going to help us. He's either going to be slower while he's waiting for the pit window, because it's too early yet to put on a soft. He's on a hard as well, so he's on the same sort of strategy to us, I would say, unless he was he must have been on a soft to start. It's too early for him to do anything. Hopefully he has got some front wing damage. We'll get an idea here with a lap time, I would imagine. Where are we here? So he will be slower that lap, just because you know, there was an incident that would have slowed him down. But let's hope that is going to be an ongoing issue for him, and maybe third and fourth could be still on here. Alright, now Hamilton has just come in the pits. It looked like a little bit of a longer stop, and his lap times were definitely slower as well. Now, have these cars that have just stopped gone and put on a medium? So Ocon and Hamilton have both stopped, and they have indeed put on medium tyres. So that, to me, suggests that we're going to be the only ones on a soft tyre at the end. And if we can make it go, then that's going to be a very good thing for us. So Ocon is locked up. That's good, because he was just getting a little close to the back of us. But this is going to be an interesting end to this race. Not for first or second. Red Bull's gone. But we might be able to get a podium out of this, and maybe even a third and a fourth. K-Mag is still rapid, though. He's going to have at least a 5-second penalty, isn't he? Hamilton with the fastest lap of the race. He's going to undercut us here. It's going to be how much faster our soft tyres can be at the end. Or, potentially, as we enter our pit window, could we maybe be so bold as to get a safety car? Because that'd liven things up for everybody. Okay, we are on board with Mick Schumacher. We are coming in this lap. Now, Giovinazzi's put out a little bit of a gap on it, so we shouldn't have to worry about necessarily an undercut here. But we're going to put on our soft tyres. 16 laps to go. We should be able to get there, no problem with that. And hopefully, let's see where it puts us out. Hamilton has gone past. A good pit stop, which is key. And let's now see exactly where this is going to bring us out. Ocon and Ricciardo have gone past. Now, Ricciardo might be one-stopping. If he's not one-stopping, then he's going to be an absolute sitting duck, so we don't have to worry about him. Now, let's see what Giovinazzi can do, as he's got Hamilton around the outside, is it? No, who is that? Oh, that's, I mean, Guan Yu Zhou was with him, so maybe that's who it is. That gives you a rough idea of how slow we've been. We'd be the last cars to come in, I would think. So let's see now. Giovinazzi, he should come out ahead of Mick. Can he come out ahead of Ricciardo? Because that would save him a headache. Another decent stop from the boys as well, so well done to them there. There goes Ocon, and we are ahead of Ricciardo by the looks of things. So that is good news. Now, what we don't want to do, Mick is going to go for fastest lap. What we don't want to do is go too early and burn that battery up. Giovinazzi could have a crack for it as well, but he doesn't have the battery to get it done, I don't think, whereas Mick very much does. What is the gap to Hamilton? It's 2 seconds to Ocon, and then it's 7 seconds to Hamilton. We'll get an idea here of what sort of lap times we're doing. No, we won't. Let's deploy Mick. Let's see if Mick can go and do fastest lap here. Should probably go and have a crack with the tyres and the petrol too, mate. Sorry, should have done it before turn 1. Hopefully that's not going to cost him. He's only done a green first sector. Come on, Mickey boy. So Mick did a 17.1, which is about half a second faster than Hamilton, which isn't really enough, is it? Purple second sector. All right, here we go. How much life is going to take out of the tyres is maybe the big question, but hopefully it'll be okay. Is this fastest lap of the race for Mick Schumacher? Yes, it is. Well done, Mickey boy. Gonna have to save everything now, but you've done well there, mate. We'll take that and run. Giovinazzi is closing in. 7/10 a second a lap on Ocon, so let's hope we can get this move done nice and quickly. And then we can go and try and chase down Hamilton in the remaining laps. Okay, so we are right up behind Ocon. We are just struggling to get this done. Let's just go on a bit of deploy and try and get it done. We did almost have the battery fully charged, but we need to get this done at this point, please. Antonio, I mean, he can't be that difficult to get around. It's an Alpine. He did all that good work charging the battery. Now we've just about drained it, trying to get back past him. Surely. There we go. All right, so that'll be him past. Mick is not too far behind now as well, so Mick can go and hopefully get that done as Giovinazzi tries to chase down Hamilton with 10 laps to go here. All right, here we go, Mick. Mick has just gone and got Esteban Ocon as well, so that's very, very nicely done. So we are now 4th and 5th. We have, what's that, 8 or 9 laps to go. Let's have a look at the lap times. Hamilton last time around did a 17. We did a 16, so we're a second a lap faster than him. We don't need Esteban Ocon coming back through here, but we're a second a lap faster. Surely we're going to be able to chase him down, and then if we can get both cars past, it is essentially it's the dream result, isn't it? Because no one can beat Red Bull right now. But with Aston Martin not scoring any points right now, with Alonso down there in 13th and Stroll watching on from the sidelines, it would, as I said, it would be realistically the best that we could hope for, unless the two Red Bulls want to go and take each other out. But yeah, let's see if we can run him down this lap. 17.9 for Hamilton, 16.4 and a 16.9 for Mick Schumacher. This is going to happen, I think. Alright, here we are on the back of Lewis Hamilton. We're going to harvest up here. Now, annoyingly, Alonso has nicked our fastest lap. So that's a point Aston Martin have taken off of us. So that is frustrating. But what we don't need to do is rush this. We've still got some time. Hamilton is on more or less dead tyres. If we, like I say, take our time with this, we're going to be able to get past him with DRS and a bit of ERS as well. So we'll sit here for a lap and charge up. We've got Mick not that far behind. You can just see them up there. So what we don't need, of course, is like we had... Where was that where I was waiting to pass Hamilton and then we had a safety car that finished the race? So maybe actually we do just want to get this done and not try and be too smart about things. Can we get up the inside there? Oh, I think he has, you know. And we will deploy now because I don't know where the DRS detection zone is. We may have given it to Hamilton there, you know. And that may make it a little bit more difficult for us. So right now we're in third. If we get there at the end of this straight, we should be good to go now. And we will DRS away from Lewis Hamilton. So let's turn our attention back to Mick Schumacher. And he is going to be a little bit more marginal. Now it says we're on the last lap. We're actually not, because everybody else is that much further behind. Mick is going to have to go here a little bit though, because there is only one more lap to go. And
caution on the battery.
So the battery is done for Giovinazzi. That should be okay. We've caught the back here of Lewis Hamilton very, very quickly. We are still on board with Mick, aren't we? Go on, Mickey boy. Get him, mate. Go and get him. Go and get him. Go and get him. Mickey Schumacher has gone and got him. It is third and fourth. That is very, very nicely done indeed. Let's go and deploy now. Just make sure that we are driving away from him a little bit. We'll go off. We don't need to run out of petrol here. That is the last thing. And I've done that before at Spain, haven't I? As Sonoda runs wide. And it should be okay. It should be okay. So Red Bulls look like they finished first and second here. I haven't got a checkered flag there. I'm assuming they finished the race. And we're coming around here for Giovinazzi to get third. And Schumacher fifth, fourth. Are we not done yet? We've still got another lap to go. This is very, very confusing. So now cars are starting to finish. Okay.
Max Verstappen over the
How far back is... Can we see him? He's a good distance behind, isn't he? He's a good distance behind, so that's absolutely fine. And yeah, so it is Red Bull 1 and 2, and now we just need to make it to the finish line here, please, boys. Just get there comfortably, no mistakes. Alonso, a lap down, has come 9th for Aston Martin with fastest laps. That's going to be 3 points for them. But what are we looking at? 15 and 12? That's a nice little haul of points, isn't it? So Giovinazzi will come third in Spain. Mick will come fourth. And that's a much better day for Ferrari. So up 4 and 6 places. That's just much more like it, isn't it? A little bit of help there with Gasly taking out Stroll for us. But it moves Antonio up 1 position to 4th. It moves Mick up 1 to 7th. And in the Constructors, we close the gap by 24 points to Aston Martin. And we extend it by, what's that, 11 on Mercedes as well. You could argue we're just looking a better bet for third. But, yeah, I mean, a win and 2 podiums now as well. It's not going too badly, is it, for our first season here? And the pit stops, as expected, nothing. So we still only have the 6 points. So, yeah, we weren't particularly... We had a bad stop there for Giovinazzi, too. So he's done well to overcome that and still beat Mick, really. So there we go. If you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. The next race is Canada. It is 11 days away. We should have a new suspension on the car by then. We might even be able to get a new underfloor on as well. We'll see how quickly we can get stuff manufactured there. But upgrades will be coming. And let's hope that that can just keep us closing that gap now onto Aston Martin and Red Bull, ideally. But they're a long way away, aren't they? The other question we're going to have to ask ourselves soon is, when do we take engine penalties? We're not quite at that point yet. But I'm wondering if there's a race down the line strategically we could try and take them. Yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts on that. Canada with long straights might be a decent one, but I think, yeah. The other question is, do we actually sacrifice the whole weekend and just take everything and start from the back, or do we sort of chip away at it and take penalties, sort of a few here and a few there, and yeah, do we trust ourselves to be good enough to get back up, dropping 5 or 10 spots, or do we just sacrifice one whole race? Anyway, that's all for next time, guys. Until then, I've been Aussie, thank you so much for watching. Take care.